I was pretty fun in particular because when I jumped into the fightcade for it, like one of the like there was someone in there like there was a group of people already in there just hanging out in in the Gundam Wing fucking section, and like one of them jumped on and played some matches with us.
As there always will be.
Yeah. So that's how I know you're legit if I pick a game for the week and then I go in and you guys are already there when I get there before I even announced what game it's gonna be. I'm like, I trust what you have to say about this game. So that was a really good time as well. And if you're one of those people out there that's just going, but when's Battle Assault 2 though? Listen.
Shut up.
Listen, all right? Just because it has Big Zam doesn't mean you want to play it. I love Big Zam.
Trash.
It's fucking shit, man.
That game is
It has more fan service, but the game itself is bad. And it's like, if you just ignore the gameplay, if you just want, you can look at the character select screen and go, hey, look, it's G, it's Big Sam, it's Ack Guy. Wow. And then after you get done marking out at the character select screen, you just stop playing it. You can do that, you know? But this fucking thing of like, no, play Battle Assault 2, it's like, why would you, Wing is so much better as a game. You know, and it's like like I was comparing it to Heritage for the Future versus All-Star Battle with JoJo, you know, like one's got more fan service, but the other is a funner game to play, you know?
Oh my god, I'm watching footage of Gundam Battle Assault 2, like
Gundam Battle Assault.
Oh man. This game is terrible.
Everyone's got a little air dodge though. I like the air dodge. I always liked that thing where you could just like deke into the background, you know. Anyway, I think it's pretty clear. It's like you get to pop you get to pop it in. You get to see the fucking fan service. You get to see the cast of spanning multiple games instead of multiple Gundam franchises. So that's cool to see all those things. But then the moment you have to start playing it, it's just awful. Might as well just pop in fucking X-Versus again, you know? All right.
This game looks like shit.
Anyway.
I hate it.
The battle of fan service versus like actual fun gameplay.
Oh, there's no arguing with it. Like the fucking Jump Force, people talk about it.
Xenoverse tournaments, dude. Xenoverse tournaments.
There's no arguing with anyone.
You can't.
I'm sure there's somebody out there who says DMC2's the best game because you can play in Diesel Jeans, and they really like Diesel Jeans. Like, I believe somebody had the audacity to ask me the other week, like, dude, did you know that there's like a weird crossover in DMC2?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I know, because I beat the game once with those costumes on.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
I mean, look, it's you know, if the person in question is not sure of the difference between like what makes the game feel good versus what doesn't, then, you know, there's not much you can say. It's like, it's all right. You might not be aware of this, but like, yeah, like the fan service in a thing at the end of the day is going to be the difference between me wanting to come back to this after years versus not wanting to touch it at all. You know, thank God fucking Mbon is a really good game to play, because now that can be it has every franchise in it. It has more fan service than any other, and it's also really fun, and it's called Mbon.
Can I really, there's really a problem with many of these types of games, and that is that you just called it Mbon, and it took me maybe the whole time you finished that sentence to even realize what game you're talking about. And I still can't tell you what the actual title of the game is. I don't know. I literally don't know what it is. Like,
Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme versus Maxi Boost On.
Like, they need to have titles that people can say so that you can talk to people about them. I'm
mean,
looking
sort
at
of.
you, Under Night. I'm looking at you.
But then again, Last Blade 2's Japanese title is just a haiku. So,
Yeah, I know.
You know.
You mention it every time Last Blade 2 comes up.
I love it. Shoutouts to Swery.
I will be looking in my goddamn cutlery drawer. And I will say, oh man, I think I'm down to my last blade in here for my steak. And you will stick your head through the window and go, did you know that Last Blade 2's title is actually a haiku?
It's great.
And I will say, yes, Woolie, please go.
Unist, Uniclear, Uniel. We're already here. We've proven
These
that
legitimately all sound like face care products.
it doesn't matter how weird a naming convention is. It will eventually become normal over the course of a couple months.
Normal to its own audience. No one will ever tell you that that doesn't play those games that the Under Night in Birth series has a normal titling scheme.
I would say that people at large, in terms of like the video game following, you know, like people, because there's video game not following people but still play, and then there's video game news following people. I would say that people that have never played it are still used to the fact that the game is called BlazBlue and not BlazeBlue, or Blue Blazes for that matter. You know, the game is called BlazBlue and not Blue Blaze, and I think everyone has completely stopped thinking about that. Even though it's like you're staring at it and it still makes no sense, but we're here. Or
What's an in birth?
In birth is it is actually I believe it's referring to the vanishment of void. No, it's referring to the whatever the special like creatures or people are in that world. It's referring to like the creation of them, but it's also a pun because if you say it with B and V being the same letter in Japanese, then it's also saying inverse at the same time.
I am about to leave the Discord call. I'm going to leave the Discord
Inbas is inbas. Inverse is in birth. Under night, inverse, in birth. Get it? You see, the Somnium Files, it's also AI, but it's also the eyeball.
That one's the worst.
But it's also an eyeball, but the AI is in the eyeball, and her name is I, because I is a name, but I also means love. Get it?
That one is out of control. Like even
Get it?
Even like I played that game for a couple hours, and even in universe, they're like tripping over themselves over the multiple meanings.
AI,
like
I, love, name, eyeball. Yeah.
You know, Shakespeare thought puns were really funny. And he died.
Who, Billy Shakes? He liked puns?
Yeah. Well, Bill Shakesman.
Damn.
He's dead now.
I really do wish I could see. I wish for a moment I could see what it is about English puns and dual meanings that, like,
It's so appealing.
That Japanese people love so much, and writers in particular. And I feel like if I had to take a guess, it's because of how kanji has multiple readings to it. And I feel like because you can take something like a character's name with different kanji, and then if you read it a different way, it has a completely different feeling to it, which then can create an alternate character or a secret truth about them. And it's a way of hiding something right under your nose without ever making it obvious. I feel like because of that existing convention in the language, when English accidentally does it, then it's like, oh, cool. It's like that thing that happens with kanji, except now it's happening with strand.
So there's a really good. Did you ever watch Let's Mosey, which is Tim Rogers' breakdown of the translation in FF7?
I didn't.
So there's one bit that stands out to me about this that I'm like, wow, that game's actually way better than I thought it was. Like the way better written, that is. And that is in English, Sephiroth calls Cloud a traitor pretty consistently, right? It's like yada yada, you're a traitor, whatever. But in Japanese, the word for traitor more specifically means like backstabber. So he calls him a backstabber. And he
Okay.
does that before you actually see the flashback in which Cloud literally stabs him through the back.
Okay.
And I'm like,
Okay.
oh,
Do you
there's
know,
like a
is it
oh wow.
uragiri mono?
Dude, I don't know.
Okay. Okay. It's because that's a pretty fucking good one for that specific purpose. That's excellent. Yeah.
I don't know these words.
Also, shout outs to someone translating it and then like making sure that it's the perfect fit for the context and not just like phoning it in.
Well,
It's
the translator for FF7 totally phoned it in. He didn't have time. But yeah, I like with a language that has all these kind of funny little hidden meanings and ways you can combine them. I can understand why people would be into puns, but English feels a lot more like a blunt instrument. So these ideas just become.
I mean, even among other fucking Roman languages, like it is the simplest and dumbest because it drops off a lot of the other shit you get from not Roman, sorry, Latin based. It drops off a lot of the things like other languages like French and Spanish and other languages.
Oh wait,
that have, like,
hold on. English is not a Latin language.
not Latin. Sorry. Blah.
English is Germanic.
Thank you. I'm my brain is fucking being stupid. The of all the languages that share that kind of core, English doesn't have like the gendering of objects. It doesn't have a lot of the same pluralizing that like you catch in some of the other languages as well. It cuts a lot of shit out that other languages have. So even by comparison to its own peers, it's kind of caveman.
Yeah, English is a fucking weird ass language. Like, because it's German based, but now it's absorbed so much from other languages now that it's kind of like the fucking weird language. It's a fucking homunculus, is what I'm saying. English is the homunculus of languages.
And modern English is also like borrowing a fuck ton of words every couple of fucking sentences.
Yeah.
But a lot of things are. That's just a result of global culture. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say
what I'm saying is that the puns are terrible. That's what I'm saying.
But I think that's why they like them. I think that's why Japanese writers like English puns so much and are willing to base an entire story's plot twist around a pun because of the multiple reading kanji thing. I think that might be why, but I don't have any proof to back that up. It's fucking it's gonna continue to be a thing, and you're gonna have these moments where you're gonna eye roll, and you're just gonna be like, "Oh my god, yes, we know, we get it."
All right, we're gonna take a second. Let's all have a moment of retching for Death Stranding's plot almost being straight up ruined by its own dedication to the worst pun I have ever heard in my life, because it combines multiple languages in a way that no one would ever intuit.
Which one? Because there's a bunch of them.
The character's name being in French and English, and that being the big twist. is the worst.
I think we fucking blew all of them out when we talked about it. If there's someone out there that still hasn't beaten or still is avoiding the ending of Death Stranding, then, let's not fucking spoil it for them. But like what you're describing, like that, there's that one, but like I don't know if that one is any particularly worse than like the 5 others that are the theme of the game.
I bring that one on because it is also associated with a character that almost ruins the game as well. Like, Death Stranding is so crazy because every character's name is some kind of weird haha Kojima pun thing.
Yeah.
And it has the worst one I've ever seen, to the point where it almost destroys the game's story. But it also has the best one I've ever seen that dramatically improves a already great character in Die Hard Man.
That's great.
Like, his is the best.
His is fantastic. There's another one I really like, which is Mads.
Mm-hmm.
I really like his as well. That was to me that represents about where it should be without fucking rubbing your goddamn face in it. That's where it should be.
There is a part in Death Stranding where Sam Bridges looks at the camera and goes, all according to Keikaku, and another character looks at the camera and goes, Keikaku means plan.
Ba-bon.
That happens. That's a real thing.
They got him to sing a Japanese bath song, man. He doesn't know what the fuck. Anyway, yes. Thank you, the Somnium Files.
I was riding on my motorcycle with Norman Reedus, which is me.
Mm-hmm. And you got to appreciate, too, when a franchise just decides, you know what? Fuck it. We're not going to try. The name of this game is Danganronpa. Too bad. Learn how to say it. Like, they just completely give up on even trying. It's like, oh, well, it kind of vaguely refers... It's the truth bullet, but just no. It's Danganronpa. That's it. Fucking that too bad, Like, we're giving no effort towards this whatsoever. You want to learn this weeb shit, you want to play this weeb shit, you're probably into it anyway.
You're going to do the weeb thing now.
Yeah. Not even giving it a chance. Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. You see, it kind of means break through the heavens, Crimson Eye. But what?
But it also really doesn't.
Like, yeah. Just straight up Japanese title. Do-ra ra 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 ra. Yeah, I respect it there too. I don't not respect it when they just go, you know what? We can't come up with anything to make this work. We're just gonna fucking stick with it.